Welcome to Build Your Dreams. We're going to be talking about one of the funnest subjects, insurance. Okay, it's not that fun, but it's very important. If you're going to own anything above a couple $1,000s, if you're going to have people on your set, if you want to make money and you want to have this as your career, you need insurance. Nowadays, with how easy it is to sue people, how easy it is for people to steal your camera, all these different things, you need insurance to cover your step on the way. Because as a photographer, as a videographer, if your camera gets stolen, if your camera breaks, you're basically out of a job, or you're out of a lot of money that you put your time and effort into buying and building that up, and it's gone unless you have insurance. It's not that expensive. We're gonna go through what to look for in insurance, as far as service, as far as liability, as far as equipment coverage, how to read a quote, etc. We're gonna do fast and efficient, so it's only gonna be a quick tutorial, but we'll get a lot done in a little time. Are you ready? Let's go. All right, so before we go get some quotes, let's talk about some insurance definitions so we know what we're looking at. One is gonna be general liability insurance. This is the minimum what you should have, and this will cover, so this is the definition they give you. This will cover injury to a third party, including medical expenses or damage to someone else's property, claims of personal injury, including libel and slander. So slander is basically talking bad about other people, representing someone's name. If you were to write a bad review that is slanderous, not true, you might get sued. They will help you cover it. And so that's what general liability covers it. That's the cheapest option. It's the minimum what you should have. And these are some terms within that realm. So the occurrence limit is how much they're going to cover within one occurrence. An example they give is you spill coffee on someone's data server, they will pay up to whatever occurrence limit you have. Usually you want at least $1 million of that. That's kind of the standard. And then the aggregate limit is the next part. That's how much in a total given year they'll be able to pay off. So if you have two incidents and the cost totals over $2 million, which is, or whatever your aggregate limit is, you're liable for that extra damages. So if you set a house on fire that was 1.5 million, and then you broke the Mona Lisa and that's 20 million, you're up to you're not gonna be able to get all that covered because of the aggregate limit. So it's just something to pay attention to when you're looking at the general liability aspect of insurance. So there's another section of it, and it's called the business owner policy, and that's enhanced insurance for business owners. And so it's going to give you the general liability, and it's also going to give you coverage on your business equipment. So it's going to cover stolen items. There's a few other things it'll cover. Stolen, if it's damaged from excessive wind or other acts of nature, water damage, or if someone else damages it and you can prove it. If you drop your camera, unfortunately, that often is not covered by insurance. Just depends. Most of the time, it's not covered. So usually it has to be stolen, knocked over by an act of wind, or there's one other definition. We'll put it in the description. But just know it's not going to cover every single aspect. You can't just throw your camera off the roof and get a new one. And some definitions within that realm. Deductible. So this is how much you'll have to pay out of pocket. An example is this. Say you have a $5,000 camera. You have a insurance policy that will cover up to $7,000. If your camera gets stolen or broken by some certain thing, you will have to pay in your deductible. Your deductible is $500. So your camera's $5,000. Your deductible is $500, and your camera gets stolen. You will still have to pay $500 out of pocket to get that $5,000 check to reimburse you for the market value of your camera. So these are the definitions we need to know before looking into which option will be best for us. I have gone ahead and got quotes from 3 of the top providers. The links are in the bottom. Again, I've had great experience with Hiscox. I've also heard great things about the Hartford. Next is new to me, but it's been recommended, so it's on this list, and we're going to get quotes from all 3 of them and just compare and choose the best one for our business. So first up, Hiscox Business Insurance. This is a great provider. They have great customer service. It's easy. They'll let you cancel if you only need it for a certain amount of time. They're very flexible. I highly recommend it. I've had it off and on with different needs. But so here's this option. This is with the business owner policy. So it's covering up to $15,000 of property, $500 deductible, $1 million occurrence fee, and $2 million aggregate. They're quoting me at $500 a year or $41.66, and it's going to have 2 payments due at the very beginning and then 10 installments later on. And it just kind of goes over some different things. Bing bong bing. But this is the bulk of it right here. The stats, payment monthly, what it's going to cover, etc. Then we're going to go to the Hartford over here. It's a little more expensive. It's $50 extra a year. Same thing, $15,000, $1,000, $2,000. So you're paying $50 extra for Hartford. I do think they give great insurance. I know someone that has had a light go out or a light fall on set, and they replaced it, and he even got a little more than he expected. Was able to buy a little other piece of gear. So I know the Hartford's good. I personally don't have any experience with them, but I would highly suggest getting a quote from them just because it's always great to shop around, know your options. Last one is Next Insurance. This is $16 a month. This is strictly for general liability. If you don't have general liability, I highly suggest getting it for at least $16 a month so you can sleep at night. And oftentimes when you're shooting at a venue or shooting with certain companies, they expect and require you to have insurance, at the minimum liability insurance. So it's not good to not have it. You look unprofessional, and at the minimum get Next Insurance. So this kind of wrap up of how to shop for insurance, what to look at, what the definitions mean, and I highly suggest getting at least general liability. And if your equipment's anywhere near the 10,000 range or 5,000 range, get business owner policy. It'll pay off long term if anything happens. And theft is prevalent. You just never know what's going to happen. It's great to have insurance.